writers of Hong Kong is here. So I am so excited to be here and to meet all of you here today. And you know, one of my greatest passion in life is music, and classical music at that. So you know, I just want to share with you a little bit of my experience and the composers that made an impression on me. And because I feel like I was born in Seoul, Korea, but I grew up in the U.S. So I feel like I'm not a Korean, I'm American. I feel I'm all of those things. So and now I made my home in Hong Kong, and I love the city, and it's so vibrant. It's where East meets West. And to be a little more personal, this is the city that gave me the greatest gift in life. I have a baby boy. He's 10 months old, and I feel like Hong Kong gave me this gift of this boy to me. So Hong Kong feels especially meaningful and close to me. So I wanted to share with you. You know, I grew up in the U.S. I started playing piano when I was 4, and you know, music became the center of my life. And I made my orchestral debut when I was 10, and I went to Juilliard, and you know, I had a great fortune to travel around the world and meeting interesting people and experiencing different cultures. So I wanted to share with you that how wonderful classical music can be, and that you know, some of you have this notion of classical music that you know, I want to hopefully inspire you. I want to hopefully challenge your notions of classical music, and I hope that I could be able to tell you how much it enriched my life and what it did for me personally, as well as musically, as well as emotionally, in every possible way, and made me the person I am today. So, well, let's first off talking about music, classical music. What is your notion of classical music? You guys? You know, notion of classical music? What do you think? Okay, I could just, top of my head, it's the music of older generation, a long time ago, right? Traditional, it's too intellectual, maybe too long, maybe too boring, I don't know. So I want to challenge the notion of the, you know, classical music being too long, too boring. I want to tell you that it's personal, it's powerful, it's expressive. It's more expressive than '63. He wrote wonderful music, and I selected Prokofiev Sonata No. 6. This is written during World War II. So this is the, you know, trial time. This is the time of tragedy all around him, right? So he wrote a series of sonatas called War Sonatas. It is actually called War Sonatas. And it's number 6, 7, and 8. And the number 6, this particular one that I'll be playing, is actually the longest and most massive score. So, you know, because of the time, I just want to give you a little taste of Prokofiev. He's a Russian composer who lived in the time of Soviet Union. Okay, so I'll just play a little bit. Hello? Okay. that you guys expected that from classical music. And this Prokofiev music is actually, because it's written during the World War II, he sees pains and conflicts and tragedy all around him. And this is his expression of his feelings about the war and the time that he lives in. And you don't have to go to a movie to imagine, to have the set and imagine. Movies are a wonderful, wonderful thing that we could experience this great world of, it could be anything. And one of my favorite hobbies is going to movie. But we have the classical music written in this troublesome time. You have the real stuff, what's going on. This is the window to his soul. He feels this kind of anger and pain and so much so that he had to write an instruction says, play with the fist. And I went like that, right? So that's his pain. That's almost saying, screaming out. And this is, during the time of Stalin's repression, and people screaming out pain and saying, help us, this, and then there's other movements that have a longing and regrets. It's got all the good stuff there, and you have this window to his soul. So I hope that you go and listen to Prokofiev. He's got different stuff, like Peter and the Wolf. He could be sarcastic, but these periods of time, because it's such a troublesome time, that you feel this anguish and pain and conflict. So I hope that wasn't boring. I hope that wasn't, it's actually provocative. It's actually, expressive. It's like heaven English, right? Almost. And so that's the first composer that I wanted to share with you. The second composer that I want to share with you is Italian composer. We're now going back to maybe 200 years back. He's born in 1685. His name is Domenico Scarlatti. He was such interesting. His music is so interesting because he's an Italian composer, yet he spent quite some time in Spain and Portugal. So his music is, yes, Italian, but it's got the Spanish. He depicts the life of Spanish life, and yet essentially being Italian that he is. So when you listen to his music, it's sunshine, it's Mediterranean, it's Italy, it's Spain. And it's so interesting because he was born in 1685, the year that Bach, Johann Sebastian Bach, and George Frederick Handel was born. And contemporary composers like Bach and Handel wrote different kinds of music. They wrote music to God, this all holy, mighty, grandeur, the majestic God. And they wrote wonderful, wonderful music. But Scarlatti wrote a music more personal level, more down to earth, more human, more personal. It's the God that lives within me.